Hello friends, in this session I discuss about operation in OLAP and different schema. Online analytical processing, or we can say OLAP, is a category of software that allows user to analyze information from multiple database systems at the same time. It is a technology that enables analysis to extract and view business data from different points of view. Analysts frequently need to group, aggregate, and join data. These operations in relational database are resource intensive. With OLAP database can be pre-calculated and pre-aggregated, making analysis faster. OLAP database are divided into one or more cubes. These cubes are designed in such a way that creating and viewing reports become easily. OLAP stands for Online Analytical Processing. So based on that, I have started our main topic is introduction of OLAP. OLAP helps in analyzing different extracts and in viewing business data from different points of view. It is often required to group, aggregate, and join data. The structure is basically called the OLAP cube. The OLAP cube is a data structure that is optimized for proper data analysis. It mainly consists of numeric facts which can be called dimensions. At the same time, where the OLAP cubes are termed as hypercubes, which will allow the user to perform multidimensional analytical query for the required data using the basic OLAP operation such as drill down, roll up, slicing, dicing, and pivot. A data warehouse should extract data from various data sources and formats. This data is then cleansed and transformed as per user needs. It is then loaded to OLAP server where further analysis is done. Now, I have shown you a basic OLAP cubes like this. At the core of the OLAP concept, in an OLAP cube, the OLAP cube is a data structure optimized for very quick data analysis. The OLAP cube consists of numeric facts called measures, which are categorized by dimension. OLAP cube is also called the hypercube. Usually, data operation and analysis are performed using the simple spreadsheets where data values are aggregated in row and column formats. This is idea for two-dimensional data. However, OLAP contains multi-dimensional data with data usually obtained from different and unrelated sources. Using a spreadsheet is not an optimal option. The cube can store and analyze multidimensional data in a logic and order manner. So now we can see how does it work. So a data warehouse would extract information from multiple data sources and formats like text file, Excel sheets, or we can say multimedia files, etc. The extract data is cleaned and transformed. Data is loaded into an OLAP server, or we can say OLAP cube, where information is pre-calculated in advance for further analysis. Now, I have discussed on basic analytical operation of OLAP. So, four type of analytical operation in OLAP that are: first is roll up, second is drill down, third is slice and dice, fourth one is pivot, or we can say rotate. Now I have explained this operation in detail. So first is roll up. So roll up is also known as consolidate or aggregation. The roll-up operation can be performed in two ways. So first one is reducing dimension. Second one is climbing up concept hierarchy. Concept hierarchy is a system or grouping things based on their order or level. Now, consider this diagram. In this example, cities now, cities means here, cities New Jersey and Los Angeles and rolled up into country USA. The sales figure for New Jersey and Los Angeles are 440 and 1560 respectively. They become 2000s after roll up. In this aggregation process, data is location hierarchy move up from city to country. In the roll up process, at least one or more dimension need to be removed. In this example, quarter dimension is removed. Now, I explain second operation is drill down. In drill down, data is fragmented into smaller parts. It is the opposite of roll-up process. It can be done via moving down the concept hierarchy, and second one is increasing a dimension. Now, see this figure. In this figure, quarter Q1 is drilled down to months, January, February and March. Corresponding cells are also registered. In this example, dimension, month are added. Now, I explain the next operation is slice. In the slice, one dimension is selected and a new subcube is created. Now consider this example. In this, we can see how slice operation is performed. Dimension time is sliced with quarter 1 as a filter. A new cube is created altogether. Now, I explain dice. Means this operation is similar to a slice. The difference in dice is you select two or more dimensions that result in creation of subcubes, like these examples. Now, I explain next operation is pivot. In pivot, you rotate the data axis to provide a substitute presentation of data. Consider this example. The pivot is based on item types, like this. So I hope you can understand the basic operation of OLAP. Now I discuss the types of OLAP systems, or we can say OLAP hierarchical structures. In this, the main OLAP is divided into ROLAP, MOLAP, HOLAP, and others. Others include WOLAP, DOLAP, MOLAP, and SOLAP. Now I explain all the OLAP types in detail. So first one is relational OLAP, or we can say ROLAP. So ROLAP is an extended RDBMS along with multidimensional data mapping to perform the standard relational operations. Now next one is multidimensional OLAP, or we can say MOLAP. MOLAP implements operation in multidimensional data. Now third one is hybrid online analytical processing, or we can say HOLAP. In HOLAP, approach the aggregates totals are stored in a multidimensional database, while the details data is stored in relational database. This offers both data efficiency of the ROLAP model and performs on the MOLAP models. Now, I explain the next type is desktop OLAP, or we can say DOLAP. In desktop OLAP, a user downloads a part of the data from the database locally or on their desktop and analyze it. DOLAP is relatively cheaper to deploy as it offers very few functionalities compared to other OLAP systems. Now, next OLAP is Web OLAP, or we can say WOLAP. In Web OLAP, which is OLAP system accessible via the web browser. Web OLAP is a three-tier architecture. It consists of three components like client, middleware, and database server. Now, next one is mobile OLAP. The mobile OLAP helps users to access and analyze OLAP data using their mobile device. Now, next one is Spatial OLAP, or we can say SOLAP. SOLAP is created to facilitate management of both spatial and non-spatial data in a geographical information system. Now, I discuss the advantage of OLAP systems and basic knowledge about it. So, ROLAP works with data that exists in a relational database. Facts and dimension tables are stored as relational tables. It allows multidimensional analysis of data and is faster growing OLAP. So it is a general knowledge about the ROLAP. So based on that, I have discussed the advantage of ROLAP model. So first one is it is a high data efficiency, means it offer high data efficiency because query processment and access language are optimized particularly for the multidimensional data analysis. Next one is scalability, means these types of OLAP systems offer scalability for managing large volume of data, and even when the data is steady increasing. Now, I have discussed the drawback of ROLAP models. So, first one is damage for higher resources, means ROLAP needs high utilization for manpower, software, and hardware resources. Next one is aggregately data limitation, means ROLAP tools use SQL for all calculation of aggregate data. However, there are no set limits for handling computationals. Next one is slow query performance, means query performance in this model is slow when compared with MOLAP. Now, so what is MOLAP? MOLAP use array-based multidimensional storage engine to display multinationals or multidimensional view of data. So basically, they use an OLAP cubes. Now, I discuss about hybrid OLAP. So, hybrid OLAP is a mixture of both ROLAP and MOLAP. It offers faster computation of MOLAP and higher scalability of ROLAP. HOLAP use two databases. First one is aggregate of computed data stored in multidimensional OLAP cube, and second is detailed information is stored in relational database, which we have discussed earlier in these sessions. So now I explained the benefits of hybrid OLAP. So first one is this kind of OLAP helps to economize the disk space, and it also remain compute or compact, which helps to avoid issues related to access speed and convenience. Next one is hybrid OLAPs use cube technology, which allow faster performance for all types of data. Next one is ROLAP are instantly update, and HOLAP use have access to this real-time instantly update data. MOLAP bring cleaning and conventional of data, thereby improving data relevance. This bring best of both worlds. Now I discuss the drawback of hybrid OLAP. So first drawback is generate complexity level. Means the major drawback in HOLAP system is that it supports both ROLAP and MOLAP tools and application. Thus, it is very complicated. Next one is potential overlaps. Means there are higher chance of overlapping, especially into their functionalities. Now, I have explained the advantage of OLAP. So, first one is OLAP is a platform for all types of business, include planning, budgeting, reporting, and analysis. Next one is information and calculation are consistent in an OLAP cube. This is a critical benefits of OLAP. Next one is quickly create and analyze, means what if scenarios in OLAPs. Next one is easily search OLAP database from words or specific terms. Next one is OLAP provides the building blocks for business modeling tools, data mining tools for performance reporting tools. Next one is that allows user to do slice and dice cubes data, all by various dimensions, measures, and filters. Next one is it is good for analyzing time series. Next one is finding some clusters and outliers is easy with OLAPs. Next one is it is a powerful visualization online analytical process systems which provides faster response times. Now I have discussed about disadvantage of OLAP systems. So first one is OLAP require organized data into a star or snowflake schema. These schemas are complicated to implement and administrators. Next one is you cannot have large number of dimensions in a single OLAP cubes. Next one is transactional data cannot be accessed with OLAP systems. Next one is any modification in an OLAP cubes need a full update of cubes. These are time consuming process. Now I explain all the summaries of OLAP. So first one is OLAP is a technology that enables analysts to extract and view business data from different point of view. Next one is at the core of OLAP concept is a OLAP cube. Next is various business applications and other data operation require the use of OLAP cubes. Next is there are primarily 5 types of analytical operation in OLAP. First one is roll up, second is drill down, third is slice, fourth is dice, and fifth is pivot. Next is 3 types of widely used OLAP systems are MOLAP, ROLAP, and hybrid OLAP. So desktop OLAP and web OLAP and mobile OLAP are some other types of OLAP systems. So I hope you can understand the basic operation of OLAPs and its advantages and drawbacks. Now I explain what is multidimensional schema. So multidimensional schema is especially designed to modern data warehouse systems. The schemas are designed to address the unique needs of very large database and designed for analytical purpose of OLAP. So basically, there are three types of data warehouse schemas. So three cheap types of multi-dimensional schemas, each having its unique advantage. So these schemas are, first one is star schema, second is snowflake schema, and third is galaxy schema. Now I explain this schema in details. So first one is star schema. In the star schema, the center of the star can have one fact table and a number of associate dimension table. It is known as star schema as its structure resembles a star. The star schema is the simplest types of data warehouse schema. It is also known as star join schema and is optimized for query large data sets. So consider this example. In this example, the fact table is at the center like this, which contains keys to every dimension tables like dealer underscore ID, model ID, date underscore ID, product underscore ID, branch underscore ID, and other attributes like units, solds, and revenue. And others are dimension tables like this. So this is the basic overview of the star schema. Now I have discussed the characteristics of star schema. The first is it is a easy dimension, or we can say every dimension in a star schema is represented with the only one dimension table. Next is the dimension table should contain the set of attributes. Next is the dimension table is joined to the fact table using a foreign key. The dimension table are not joined to each other in this star schema. So the fact table would contain key and measures. Next is the star schema is easy to understand and provide optional disk uses, or we can say it can optimal disk uses for the other schema. Next is the dimension table are not normalized in the star schema. The schema is widely supported by the business intelligence tools. So I hope you can understand the basic structure of the star schema and its characteristics. Now I explain the next schema is snowflake schema. In snowflake schema is a logical arrangement of tables in a multi-dimensional database such that the ER diagram reassemble a snowflake shapes. A snowflake schema is an extension of star schema and it adds additional dimensions. The dimension table are normalized, which splits data into additional tables. Now consider this example. In this, country is further normalized into an additional table like location or country. Now I explain the characteristics of snowflake schema. First is the main benefit of snowflake schema is it uses smaller disk space. Next is easier to implement a dimension is added to the schema. Next is due to multiple tables query performance is reduced. Next is the primary challenge that you will face while using the snowflake schema is that you need to perform more maintenance efforts because the more lookup tables. Now I explain the difference between star schema versus snowflake schema. Like this, in star schema, we have seen hierarchies are stored in the dimension table. In snowflake schema, hierarchy are divided into separate tables. Second is in star schema, it contains a fact table surrounded by dimension table. While in snowflake schema, one fact table surrounded by dimension table which are in turn surrounded by dimension table. Next is in star schema. In a star schema, only single joint creates the relationship between the fact table and any dimension table, while in snowflake schema, a snowflake schema required many joins to fetch the data. Next is in star schema, denormalized data structure and query also run faster, while in snowflake schema, normalized data structure. Next is in star schema, single dimension table contain aggregate data, while in snowflake schema, data splits into different dimension tables. Next is in star schema, offers high performance queries using stars joins query optimizations. Table may be connected with multiple dimensions, while in snowflake schema, the snowflake schema is represented by centralized fact table which unlikely connected with multiple dimensions. So this about the difference between star schema and snowflake schema. Now I explain our last schema is galaxy schema. A galaxy schema contains two fact tables that share dimension table between them. It is also called fact consolidation schema. The schema is viewed as a collection of stars, hence the name galaxy schema. Now consider this example. In this example, we have seen the two fact tables and others are the dimensions. In fact table, we have stored the foreign key of the dimension tables. Now, as you can see in this example, there are two fact tables. First one is revenue and second is product. Like this is the product table and this is the revenue tables. In galaxy schema, shared dimensions are called confirmed dimensions. Now, I explain the characteristics of galaxy schema. The first is the dimension in this schema are separated into separate dimensions based on the various levels of hierarchies. Next is, for example, if geography has 4 levels of hierarchy like region, country, state and city, then galaxy schema should have 4 dimensions. Moreover, it is possible to build these types of schema by splitting the one star schema into more star schema. Next is the dimension are large in this schema, which is need to build based on the level of hierarchy. Next one is this schema is helpful for aggregate for fact tables for better understanding. So this about all the schemas. I hope you can understand the star schema, snowflake schema and galaxy schema. So the summary of this schema is multi-dimensional schema is especially designed to model data warehouse systems. The star schema is the simplest types of data warehouse schema. It is known as star schema as its structure reassembles a star. A snowflake schema is an extension of a star schema and it adds additional dimensions. It is called snowflakes because its diagram reassembles a snowflakes. In a star schema, only single join benefits the relationals between the fact tables and any dimensions tables. In a star schema, contains of fact tables surrounded by dimensions tables. Snowflake schema is surrounded by dimension table, which are in turn surrounded by dimension table. A snowflake schema requires many joins to fetch the data. In galaxy schema contains two fact tables that share dimension table. It also called fact consolidation schema. Star cluster schema contains attributes of star schema and snowflake schema. So I hope you can understand this schema. So Thank you friends watching this video. I hope you can understand the types of OLAPs, their operations and schema. Thank you.